Illustration number 3. Prove that the accounting equation is satisfied in all the following transactions of Sita Ram by preparing the analysis table. அதாவது here I am going to open the accounting equation. Asset is equal to capital plus liabilities. In this angle I am going to prepare this. Also record the transaction in journal. So I rewrite this along with the other model also later. Let me finish up this first of all using the accounting equation approach. So left hand side is assumed to be the assets, right hand side is named as liabilities. In liabilities we have capital, and trade creditors. Creditors is nothing but the party to whom we have to pay the liability or pay any due is called trade creditors. Due to the purchase of material, if any amount payable, then it is called trade creditors. Due to purchase of other than purchase of material, any amount payable to anybody else, then that will be called as other creditors or simply sundry creditors. You have to understand the difference between trade creditors and sundry creditors. In this particular illustration, I am introducing this term: sundry creditors and trade creditors. I purchased the material, but for that I have not paid anything. Then that particular party is my creditor, that too trade creditor. I purchased an asset, for that I have not made any payment. Then this is creditors for asset. I enjoyed some benefits, like I have posted my advertisement, I received a service from the employees, or I have occupied the property for 3 or 4 months without paying the rent. So without payment of any rent or without payment of salary, without payment of advertisement money, if I enjoy the benefits, then that party to whom I have to pay also creditor. But these parties will be named as expenses creditors. Expenses creditors. So we have trade creditors, asset creditors, expenses creditors. Predominantly every business will have trade creditors, so that will be separate. Others, very rare, will be grouped in the name of sundry creditors. Is that okay? The same will be applicable for the debtors also. I am not aware about what are the assets will exist here. Predominantly we assume cash will definitely exist. Anyhow, by reading one after one the transactions, we can locate what are the assets account we have here. So cash account, bank account and stock account. I assume we have 3 predominant account. Rest of the things we will see that later. Right. Number 1, business commenced with a capital of rupees 6 lakhs. I put the values in thousands. 3 zeros are going to be omitted. So business commenced with a capital of rupees 600,000. So automatically what happens, because of the first transaction, capital increases by 600. Parallelly cash also increases by the same amount, 600. Cash balance also increases by the same amount. So rest of the things are the same. Now you can cross verify that assets should be equal to the liabilities inclusive of the capital. Yeah, of course, in this side also the asset value is 600. The other side, the liabilities and capital side also 600. It's matching now. No need to worry about that. Second, 4.5 lakhs deposited into the bank. Second case. As I deposited money in the bank balance increases by 450. My cash balance decreases by 450. Now the cash balance is 150. Rest of the other accounts will be the same. Will have no change. Now also cross verify the asset side should be equal to the liabilities. Yes, of course, asset side is 150 plus 450 600. Liabilities also we have the same value 600 rupees. It's matching. You can have one more column for total to write the total value of the assets as well as total value of the liabilities and verify whether it's matching or not. So of course matching. Let's move on to the third one. 2,30,000 rupees plant and machinery purchased by paying rupees 30,000 cash immediately. So automatically what happens, the new asset comes here being the plant and machinery. Third one, the plant and machinery here being 230,000 rupees worth of plant and machinery is now purchased. Because of that the balance is increasing to that extent, and for that cash is immediately paid by 30, so that the cash balance is reduced by 30. So 150 minus 30, 120 will be the new cash balance. 120 will be the new cash balance. Is that okay? Apart from that, remaining balance out of 230, 30 is paid, another 200 rupees is pending. Pending means to that party I supposed to pay the money. If I make any payment to somebody else, then that will be coming under creditors, especially this will be the creditors for the assets. Here the creditors for assets is grouped in the name of sundry creditors, so I am going to post that value in the sundry creditors account at rupees 200. So 200, is that okay? The rest of the accounts remains the same. So in bank account 450, no changes, and in the liability side, the capital remains 600, will be having no change at all. So now we can verify whether the assets is equal to the liability side. So asset side will be 120 plus 450 plus 230, the value being 800 rupees, and liability side also 800 rupees. So it's matching. So as per the third transaction, it's matching. No need to worry about that. So now let's move on to the fourth one. Purchased goods worth rupees 40,000 for cash and 45,000 in account. So in total, we have purchased 40 plus 45, 85,000 rupees stock increasing. So now I had to add that with the stock account. So stock account exists at zero balance. Now 40 plus 45, 85 rupees worth of stock is increasing. For that, 40 is immediately paid by way of cash, means already I have 120 rupees cash. Because of this payment, the cash balance decreases to 80. And then on account means in credit, I have to pay the money to them. So automatically it becomes trade creditors. Because of the trading purpose, if I find some party to whom I have to pay money, means automatically that party is named as trade creditors. So here the trade creditors being 45. Leaving this, all other account remains the same. So bank being 450 and plant and machinery also 230. And capital here being 600 and sundry creditors also 200. Cross verify whether it's matching or not. Hope so. In the liability side 845 will have the equal value with the asset side also being 845. Is that okay? If I'm wrong in calculations, let me know. Otherwise, I will move on to the next one. So in the fifth transaction, paid a check rupees 2 lakhs to the supplier for the plant and machinery. So we have made a payment of 2 lakhs. That too by way of check. Check means automatically it will have the impact in the bank, so bank balance will be reduced. So 200 rupees should be subtracted from the bank. Already we have 450. On subtracting the 200 rupees, now the bank balance is only 250. And parallelly, the payment is to the creditor, especially the creditors of asset, sundry creditors, right? So sundry creditors balance is 200. This sundry creditors is just because of the purchasing the plant and machinery without payment of money. So I have termed the creditors for asset as sundry creditors. That fellow to whom I have now paid the 200 rupees. Now from the 200 rupees, this 200 is subtracted. Hereafter the balance being only 0. Right, so balance is 0. Leaving that, the all other account remains the same. So cash is 80 and stock is 85 and plant and machinery 230. And in the liability side, capital 600 and trade creditors being 45. So now the total in the liability side is 645. Cross verify whether the total in the asset side is also same. Yeah, of course, the value of the asset side is also the same value. 645,000. Is that clear? So up to 50 one is over. Now I'll move on to the sixth one. 70,000 cash sales of goods costing rupees 50,000 is paid. 70,000 cash sales. So 50,000 rupees cost of the goods, where I sold it for 70. So I received cash being 70. Goods is decreasing by 50. The difference between these two is nothing but the profit and loss. The profit and loss will be immediately adjusted to the capital account. So now I'm going to suggest the sixth transaction here. As per the discussion now we made, the cash will be increasing by 70. So already we have cash of 80, and by adding another 70, the cash balance increases to 150. And goods costing 50 is decreasing. So here already the stock of goods being 85. Out of that 85, 50 rupees worth of goods is now sold. Now hereafter it is only 35. Because of this transaction, there is a gain of 20. Any profit or loss because of any transaction will be adjusted only the capital account. The capital account already has a balance of 600 rupees. This profit 200 rupees is now added with the 600. Now the capital being 620. Leaving these three account, all other accounts will have the same value what we have before this transaction. So bank being 250 and plant and machinery being 230. And trade creditors being 45 and sundry creditors is also 200 rupees. So we have now posted that. And then the next transaction 7, withdrawn by the proprietor 35,000 cash for personal use. 35,000 cash for personal use. Okay. So then cash is going to be reduced and the proprietor, owner's capital account should also be reduced. And I am going to post that here. 7th one, because of the withdrawal, cash balance is decreased by 35,000. Already we have 150. From there, 35 is decreased. Then the value being 150 minus 35, 115 is the new cash balance. Then because of the withdrawal, capital balance is decreasing. Already the capital balance is 620. From there, 35 is subtracted. If I subtract that, then the balance being 585. Leaving these two, the rest of the things will be the same. So 250 for bank and stock being 35, plant and machinery being 230, and trade creditors being 45, and sundry creditors being 200. So we don't have any other confusions. Cross verify whether the total is tallying or not. In the liability side, the total being, yeah, is that 630? Is that correct? Come on, verify. Hope that the total being 630 in the both the sides. So at least here I will verify this value, right? And now let me move on to the 8th one. Insurance paid by check 2,500. Any expenses paid that will reduce the cash or bank balance. Here by check, no. So automatically it reduces the bank balance. So 8th transaction, it reduces the bank balance by 2,500. So after reducing, the bank balance will be 247.5 thousands, right? Because of this payment, it's an expenses. Any expense or income should have the impact only in the capital account. So the capital account has a balance of 585. From there, the 2.5 is subtracted. Now the balance being 582.5. Leaving that, the other account will be the same. So 150 being the cash and stock being 35 and plant and machinery being 230. And trade creditors being 45 and sundry creditors being 200 rupees. There will not be any change. Now let's move on to the 9th one. Salary of rupees 5,500. Outstanding. Right. So outstanding salary. Then automatically salary is there and the party name should also be there. The party name is nothing but outstanding salary. So the outstanding salary is nothing but sundry creditors. Okay. The outstanding salary is otherwise named as sundry creditors. Right. Employee worked for me. For that he has not he has not been paid anything. Then automatically the party name should be written. The employee's name should be written. Usually in the case of expenses, the party's name is replaced with outstanding salary, outstanding rent. Like the same way I have replaced the party's name with outstanding salary. That outstanding salary represents the employee. That's why outstanding salary is usually named as representative personal account and liability for us. Right. Salary is the expenses. It should be adjusted only in the capital account. From the capital, 5,500 is subtracted. So 9th transaction, capital being 582.5. From there, 5,500. If you subtract that, the final value being 577. Am I right? 577 will be the capital. And then another 5,500 is not yet paid. Then automatically it becomes sundry creditors. It becomes what? Sundry creditors. It's a creditor to whom I have to pay. Employee rendered service to me. I enjoyed the benefit, but I have not made any payment. Then the party becomes my creditors. For the employee, I am supposed to pay. So it's a creditor. Not a trade creditors, it's a sundry creditors. I already told you, any amount payable other than for the purchases will be named as sundry creditors. Two different items will fall under that. One is purchasing of assets. For that, pending money will be there. That's called creditors for assets. And any services you enjoy for that pending amount is there. Then it's called expenses creditors. That expenses creditors and creditors for assets both will be clubbed and named as sundry creditors in default. So 9th one is over. So rest of the other account remains the same. 115, 247.5, 35, 230, 45. Rest of the things are the same. Let's move on to the 10th transaction, the last one. Furniture purchased for rupees 30,000. That too in cash. So automatically a new account comes here, furniture account, and then cash is also reduced. So as per the 10th transaction, new furniture comes. So I am introducing one more column for furniture. This furniture value is now 30. Because of purchasing the furniture, cash paid, no. So cash balance will be reducing. Already we have a cash balance of 115. Now I have to reduce 15 rupees. After reducing, the cash balance is 85. and bank being 247.5 and stock being 35, and then plant and machinery being 230, capital 577, and all other things being the same value 45, and sundry creditors being 5.5. Now total the asset side and total the liability side. Okay, the total being 6 lakhs, otherwise 627.5 thousands in both the sides, it's matching. So already now equated. Hope so you could now understand. Illustration is solved using accounting equation approach. Clear?